Alright, so I wanted to make a video addressing the haters out there that have been kind of harassing me over the last week or so. I know it's important to try to ignore these things, these people, uh, but I do have to read all these comments, and they are frustrating nonetheless. But I think I wanted to make a video talking to those individuals that do tend to pick on me. Um, Traders from my past and new ones that are coming out. And I definitely leave myself open to be critiqued when I show trades live in the market and my drawdown. But you need to understand that it's already hard enough showing trades that are in drawdown to the public when they're happening. It's one reason why I stopped back a while ago. I would only show my trades after they had closed out, because then it shows you the overall what happened over time, and it just looks cleaner. But when I show you the trades in drawdown live in the market, a lot of people think, oh, well, initially looking at it, it looks really bad. And I understand that. But understand that I am showing you these trades and talking about them live on camera. It's very rare for traders to actually do that, to show their drawdown. I almost always see traders showing their profit, but they never show their losses or their drawdown. It's very rare. I'm not going to say that it never happens, but I do rarely see it. And I did I have a little list here that I wanted to go over some bullet points on this video. And I wanted to tell my followers and the haters as well that you need to stop bringing up my past, because my past is still there. I have it on YouTube. I haven't deleted any videos. Yes, I did lose during the election of 2016, November 2016. I had losses. Yeah, I left on an expert advisor of mine, or an algorithm, that was scalping the market, and it needs to be turned off during high volatility or volume moments in the market. And I went to a friend's house, left on my algorithm, and it lost 60% of my account because of the high volatility during that election. That was a complete mistake, and I considered shutting off my internet remotely by calling, but ended up it was too late by the time I could do much about it, because things really got out of hand real fast, um, before I realized. So I lost 60% of my account then. All right. So that was a scalping EA, totally different than what I'm using right now. Not even using the same indicators. It doesn't even enter the market the same. It's just completely different. All right. So later on, about 4 months ago, I ended up losing $20,000. All right. So, and that was because of poor manual trading. And I admitted this in a video as well. And I'm saying these things because I want to, set the record straight, and hopefully less people, will stop bothering me about my past. Uh, so I lost 20K, and it was because of poor choices in manual trading. I got a bit emotional, and it was very upsetting because after 13 years of trading, it seems like emotions would be less of a problem for me. But at the time, I really fell victim to the emotions in my trading and ended up losing 20,000. And it was all having to do with manual trading. It has nothing to do with my expert advisor. My expert advisor was and still is profitable, and has been since I've used it on live accounts over the past 4 years. I also want to clear that up as well. I have used this expert advisor, the one that my followers are trading or copying. I have used it on live accounts since fall of 2014. I started tracking performance on the account in 2015, and you can see that account here, Ryan Brown, 10 to 20% personal. This account was opened on April 13th, 2015. And the strategy was originally traded on the Euro Pound exclusively, so only on the Euro Pound. And later on, I made some changes so you could trade other pairs as well. All right, so it's been active for about 3.5, 4 years, and been using it on live accounts since then. All right, so just wanted to let you guys know that yes, I've had a very colorful past, and people could say yes, I'm not a profitable trader, but in the sense of manual trading, I have a profitable strategy, and that is with the algorithm. So why did I build the algorithm? Well, I did it because I knew I had weaknesses. I knew I had manual trading weaknesses, and I wanted to create an algorithm that could incorporate all of the positives that I had in my trading, um, and to fix my weaknesses, or to basically balance out the weaknesses. And yeah, so I know that I'm an emotional trader in manual trading, and needed something like an algorithm to help me with that. And so I built something that is basically a better trader than I am, and that's what I have here. All right, so um, next I wanted to cover uh, the. I'm tired of seeing traders show me 1 month stats or 2 week stats or something under 3 months. If you don't have stats longer than 3 months, please don't claim that you're a profitable trader or you have profitable results. You could have easily shown me that you made $34,000 in 1 month, but the previous month you lost 100 grand. You have to show me results, and you guys got to understand that results are really easy to manipulate. My FX book has been trying to crack down on this, because people can use a white label their broker and completely manipulate the results to show you something that's not even accurate. For example, look at this website. So this is a forexprofit.info, and look at these profit numbers that this person is showing. And they use a tracking website called FXStat, and they show you the results from this FXStat, which is you can show profitable results, but you can also white label this the stat tracker as well. And just look at this. This is completely a scam. There's no freaking way that this is real. I don't care how great of a trader you are, this is not real. And I even messaged this website or this person, and with no response. So it just shows that results can easily be manipulated. So the only way that I can actually, and I actually believe somebody that they are trading their account, is when they show me their stats on my FX book, and you also see that same account. So this is how you know: $1,413.56, and then if you pull up my account, you'll see $1,413.56. So verified, and you can see that this is a live account up at the top, right? So that is the only way I can trust that the results are real, and that's how you guys should do the same. You need to see that the account actually exists, because let's say that I am a trader and I'm a losing trader, and I've just found a profitable trader on my FX book and said, hey guys, this is me. My name is Trading Cloud, and I have a system called Smart Cookie Blue MT4, and these are my results. So anybody could just say that. The only way that you can actually prove that is by doing what I'm doing. So anybody that's saying that they're a profitable trader needs to show you more than 1 month. And I'm talking to you, Mr. Clanky Mug. Seriously, you can't just show me some results. I have to see the numbers. I have to see the account, and it's just really frustrating when people try to make themselves look better than they actually are. And I have never, ever done that in my YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel. All right, so next I wanted to cover my FX book results here. So this should appeal to the traders and probably the non-traders as well. Um, but for those of you that don't like my strategy and don't like the way I trade, I'm going to break a couple things down for you so you can understand how my strategy works over the last 3.5 months that I've been having this account tracking. So one, profitability. I have a 74% win rate out of 186 trades. I've gained 3,477 pips in the last 13 weeks about. I have a larger average win is larger than my average loss in pips. My lots are very low at 3.8. My average trade length is 1 day. So this is a huge thing. So if you go to duration, you'll see that most of my trades are closed out within 24 hours. The faster it takes for a trade to close out, the more accurate it is in the market. That means the faster I'm taking profit on my trades. And if we go to profitable traders like this guy with Smart Cookie, one I've already mentioned, he trades, I believe, hundreds or multi-millions of dollars on funds. And he's a pretty decent trader, and you can see from his track record. But you also see that he holds trades for 38 days. That's the average trade length. Can you imagine waiting 38 days for your trades to close out? I know that that's somewhat standard for long-term investing, but that would be pretty annoying to have trades gaining swap fees for 38 freaking days. And you also have other traders like this guy, Steady Capture. He also manages multi-millions of dollars, and his trade length is 4 days. So the faster that the trades close out, the better your system actually is. Okay, so moving on to history, or the summary here, you can see that I had 2,384 pips on the pound CAD, 415 on the Aussie CAD, and 677 on the NCD CAD. And I've had a lot of trades, 118, 30, 35, and 33. And let's look at the drawdown. All right, so we know that the drawdown that I had was 28% that happened on Wednesday. All right, and that's not showing up right now. Not yet. It won't show up until this week closes out. But before that, my last highest drawdown on this account was December 13th. So over a 13-week period, or you could say almost 2.5 months, or 3.5 months, that the highest drawdown that I received was 9.23%, and that is considered not very high for most trading standards, even on a low risk trading standards. So high risk trading standards, I think anything under 10%, for low risk trading, anything under 10% is manageable. For high risk trading, anything under 30% is manageable for drawdown. So I had 9% drawdown over over 3 months of time, and so many people saying that my strategy is bad, that it has too high of risk. I don't understand what you guys are talking about, because 9% is not that high, and 28%, considering the profit that my average profit, which is 9% per month, the drawdown is very manageable. So you guys need to get your facts straight, and that's why I'm talking to you traders that have been harassing me. Please look at my FX stats, my FX book stats, so you can get a better grasp of how my trading works over the longer period of time. And I think it will probably shut you up. All right, so and I'm gonna always have haters. That's gonna happen, and I might have another one of these videos where I address them, but I'm not gonna say any specific names of users, but I will maybe generally talk about them in the future if something like this happens again. But it's likely that I'll just move on, and I'm getting more used to these haters saying the same things over and over again. All right, so moving on to the next topic here. Uh, I did mention about Brexit, comparing Brexit to the current drawdown that we had. So the Canadian tariffs and comparing that to Brexit. That wasn't the best the best comparison because in my mind it was actually a bigger deal. And the reason why it was to me was because I mentioned this. If you guys know, I trade the Canadian dollar, the CAD on all three of my pairs. And so when an event like this happens on the Canadian dollar, that is a huge deal for me. That means that I'm going to be affected in a pretty massive way since I'm trading the same currency on three different pairs. During Brexit, I was only trading on the pound, so that's just one out of my three pairs. And so the Brexit wasn't affecting me as much because it was only one currency out of the four that I trade. Sorry. One, two, three, yeah, four. For some reason, I'm getting off there. So out of the four, and so Brexit didn't affect me as much. And but making that comparison was pretty stupid because there was thousands of pips in a matter of minutes that happened during the time of Brexit. And yes, we did have a huge, massive push up on the pound Canadian dollar during all this tariff talk. There was about 400 or so pips over the course of about a week. But still, poor comparison, and I apologize for that. All right. I don't want to go too long, but I still wanted to cover a couple more things. I was prepared to take losses in this whole entire event during the tariffs. And I mentioned before in a previous video that it was based off of pretty much one news announcement. If this trade balance here was negative, if this news came out negative, I would have probably started chipping away at trades. Now, I wanted to clarify this with everybody and how this works. Okay, so we have some trades in on my $127,000 account. Well, my buddy's $127,000 account. And when I cut trades, I cut the highest drawdown one. So this one right here, that's a buy that you see here. I would cut that one first, and I'd cut this one second. And I start cutting the worst trades and leave the ones that are closest to where price is currently or in the least amount of drawdown in with the hopes that they will eventually go into my favor. And that is one way I typically will start taking losses. So it doesn't mean that I'm going to take a 25% loss or something like that. Like for example when we were in drawdown. It just means I start chipping away. So I'll take a 5% loss here and another one there, like maybe a 7% loss later on, and so I'll start cutting some bad trades, and then in the hopes that I could get into better positions later on. All right. So I wanted to clear that up to make sure people, because people keep saying, well, you're leaving yourself open to take a massive loss because you wait too long, you hold your trades for too long. No, this is one way that I can close out trades. It's possible that I may cut all of the trades. I've done that before in the past, and I do that when I feel it's necessary. But this way, I also feel like it's a good tactic if I think that the market is going to continue in my intended direction, or if it's going to start moving in my intended direction. All right. What have we learned from all of this event that just recently happened that we finally pulled out of? We learned that we can get 28% drawdown, and maybe more. It depends, but I start looking for cut trades over when market goes over 25% in drawdown. So when we're exceeding 25%, I start looking to see if it's best to start cutting trades or if it's best to even close out all trades. And so there's my manual intervention, is when things start to get a little high into the drawdown area. And so that's how I look at the market, and we've learned that 28% is definitely possible here. So if you guys that are following me can't handle drawdowns of 28% at least, well, 28%, then this is maybe not for you, copying my trades, trading the Forex. All right. It's important to know what to expect, and I was pretty close uh, in what I thought may be possible in drawdown. I said 20 to 25%. It was 3% over that. So make sure you know where your comfort zone is, and if you're uncomfortable with that kind of drawdown, then look for something else. All right, and so last subject, moving forward, we are currently in some trades on the AUDCAD, and they're in profit at the moment. We don't need much more to come out with profit here. 37. Yeah, just about another 15 or so pips on the upside, and we'll be able to close out for another profitable gain. I think that we may get it today. It's hard to say though. I'm not going to make any predictions, but only another 10 to 15 pips up, and we'll be able to close out for a roughly 0.7% profit here. So for some really good trades, and you can see the entry. There was an inside candle set up here, which is great because I did see the price stalling out here, and did have a pretty good extension down, and price was stalling, and the news caused it to bounce down and then whipsaw back up during the uh, trade balance. Sorry, not the trade balance. It was the CAD bank rate. Sorry, that's not it either. All right, it's the unemployment change for the CAD. So right here, the unemployment change, and it was a bit mixed, and traders used they worked price, they pushed it down and then pushed it back up. So it did a bit of a whipsaw during that news statement today. Sorry I couldn't get my news announcements set today. Um, anyways, so we're looking good for profit, and moving forward, looking for more opportunities. I don't see 28% drawdown happening very often. This was a pretty dramatic event that happened, and I think that again, I trade three currency pairs, and the Canadian dollar was involved in this event on all three of them, and so that's why it was such a big deal for me. So I don't think that's going to happen very often. As you can see, I showed you that in the last 3.5 months before the 28%, we only had 9% drawdown, which is, obviously much easier to handle. So I do think that because we were able to weather this storm on the Canadian dollar, that it makes my system even stronger. I feel like it can handle just about any event now. And it's hard to know what's going to happen in the future, and I can't say that I'm completely protected. And because that would be a lie. Trading in the forex market is risky, and the markets are always changing, and I'm always trying to adapt my strategy to stay profitable. But the market throws me curveballs, like the tariffs. I had no idea that was coming, what to expect from it, and how my system was going to handle it over time. I made the best calculations I could from previous testing to estimate what I could potentially experience. And it's nice to know that I was pretty close in that estimation. But, you know, as mentioned, the markets are changing and doing different things every day, and it's hard to know what will actually happen in the future. So, yeah, I'm not completely protected, but I will continue to try to stay profitable and also be wise with the decisions that I make. And if I'm, for example, going to close out trades and losses in the future, And I'll continue to speak with you guys about that. Talk to you, hope to explain what's going on in the market, so you have a better understanding of what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking and how I'm looking at the markets instead of how everybody else is looking at the markets, because my opinion is the one that matters for those that are following me. Because if you're taking my trades, at least you have the right to understand why those trades were taken and why they're being left in. Um, so I think that's it for this video, and I hope that you found it enlightening and it made sense. And to those haters, I hope that you guys can calm down a little bit. And if you have questions, you can contact me as well. I mean, through my website. You also check my FX book stats. If you want to harass me, just look at my stats. I show them all the time. All right. Thanks, guys, for again staying with me, and let's make some more profit. All right. Bye.